The Winter King is a 1995 novel by Bernard Cornwell, and is book one of three in the Warlord Chronicles. Their narration begins from the point of view of Derval Cadarn, an elderly monk that was once a warrior, a retainer of Arthur's. This Arthur was warlord in Dumnonia. For an elderly monk, by the way, he is nowhere near acts like a monk. To be completely honest, like that's not immediately evident, but as the series goes on, I've now read all three books. It it doesn't work at all. Anyways, Derval acts like he's writing the Gospels in Saxon, a language Bishop Sansom can't read. And our narration is, of course, that of Arthur, though not the Gospels at all. A birth starts. Old Uther awaits an heir. Mordred, his son, is dead, but his widow is in labor. Morgan helps, in her pagan ways, with the travail. We learn another child of Uther's, Merlin, is missing. The child born is crippled. We learn the lay of the land, politics, magic from Derval's childhood experiences. He's close with Nimue, of a similar age to her. She is a foil, pretty much wild and blessed by the gods, in a sense, if you want to put it that way. So my thoughts, this feels like a fantasy series from the 90s and the aughts, kind of similar to First Law, actually, is what it reminds me of. Uther is reprehensible, of course. He can't be someone we look up to. Everyone fails and is weak. And Christianity is not treated historically, right? A sense of national identity actually was part of the Britons here, and it helped actually them convert the pagan Saxons. The religion is something that takes away in this story rather than adding, which is what it would have made more sense. It's an ahistorical representation, and it really bothered me. Actually, I'm gonna be completely honest. It's more forgivable in this book because there's a lot of stuff that's actually works really well in this book. You'll see it more in the second book, which is focused on the religious conflict, and it's just a cartoon. It doesn't work at all. But anyways, the pagan Celtic stuff is rather romanticized, and it really falls into like a New Age feminism type of stuff. It feels very dated and really contrasting to the romances of the Middle Ages, which is interesting but not surprising. It's exactly kind of what I expect. It's edgy, and I think it works okay as a novel. The edgy stuff doesn't really, obviously, but what I do like, though, is the build-up to Arthur. Some call this a slow start. I don't really think it was, but we hear of him well before we actually are introduced. His introduction fits with the historical and early medieval approach, but he still stands out. He's even fitted into the role of Dux Bellorum rather than a king proper, which you see decently often, but it was nice to see here, and it works well. Guinevere is present as a temptress, but for Arthur, not Lancelot, interestingly. We also get some of the cult of Mithras and of Isis, which seems a bit late for the time period. We also get Brittany and the Franks, which is nice and historical. The battles are also well done. And they're nice and they're small in numbers, about at least what people would think when you read something like epic fantasy. I think the battles are what people really like about this, and so if you want something that is gritty and has the action like that, like I said, kind of like, and it's just insanely sarcastic, and it just can't stop. I don't think he's even trying to go for it. He's just like, I think that's just the personality Cornwell has, that he just can't help himself be kind of a baby. Anyways, I will say I did listen to this, and the narrator does actually not say this Saxon words correctly at all. Just heads up there. Something that I find interesting in Arthuriana is the Britons are obviously the good guys, and everyone else is bad, particularly the Saxons. The same author wrote the Saxon Tales, of course, which is surely an interesting shift in perspective, but honestly, having now read this trilogy, I have no interest in reading the Saxon Tales because I cannot imagine how he overly butchers the Anglo-Saxons, idea, well, the whole fact that they were Christian, and with how bad he handles it here. I will say that this is pretty much strictly historical fiction and not really fantastic at all. In this sense, I enjoy Merlin overall. The book itself is fun, though it didn't really feel exceptional at all. It's kind of middle, though a lot of people seem to love it. The handling of magic is well done. It feels authentic and real to the characters, but easily seems like, impotent hocus pocus to many a modern reader. The additions to the legend are fun and new. The first book covers a good ground with more for the next books, but compared to another historical approach to Arthur, I much prefer something like Rosemary Sutcliffe's Sword of Sunset. That being said, I did go on to read the next two books, so to see what I would think, and the series is okay, I guess. So I do think it's interesting. I do wonder if the title is a direct like jibe or going against the idea of the King of Summer that is kind of prevalent in Lawhead's Pendragon books, which I was reading at the same time as these. So, anyways, an okay book, I think, if you really want edgy, gritty, ahistorical, historical fiction, which I think is a big oof personally, so it doesn't really work well for me. But if you don't actually care about the historicity of the historical period you're looking at, then this one's okay. It does battles really well, and if you like edgy characters, then I guess you would like this too. So, anyways, it's okay. Not really my thing. Anyways, I've already given my critiques, I guess. Liam from Liam's Lies.